Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Week 1 Design Tools question and answer session. We can talk about anything that we're doing in Week 1, from installing Windows all the way up to the version control software that we'll be dealing with. I'm going to focus mainly on the version control software and work through that. But if you do have Windows questions, let me know. The version control stuff should run fairly quickly. So if you'll follow along with that, and then we can, of course, answer any other questions you have here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and turn on screen recording here. Okay, yes, Jessica has a question about Time Machine app. Okay, so Time Machine app actually comes with the machine itself. The thing is you have to have an external hard drive specifically formatted for that. But it's literally already on the machine. Unfortunately, it only works on the Mac side. So yeah, it's really cool though, and it functions a lot like what we're going to talk about today. All right, so let me go ahead and close some stuff out here. Actually, close something out I shouldn't have. Oh, it doesn't actually exist there. Darn. Okay, so let me go ahead and jump into something here real quick before I start showing the screen. All right, so here we go. Okay, if you haven't watched the video, a lot of this information will be here as well. So if you kind of interested in that, you can watch that. So, okay, yeah. Uh, so what we're going to do is we're going to run on Windows throughout Design Tools. You can switch back and forth between the two. It's not really too much of a problem. Basically, what you do is when you restart your machine through, the Start menu, if you hold down Options before the noise that it makes on startup, if you hold down the Option key, it'll give you a choice between the different operating systems that you can use. So you can either, excuse me, you can either click on it or use your arrow keys to choose which one you want. All right, so and then there's other ways around that as well. There's usually a little arrow down here, and if you find the kind of gray triangle, you can actually go in there and select which one you want. So you'll just, it'll allow you to choose that here. You can either go into restart into OS X right here, or you can go into the boot control panel, and it gives you the choice here of switching between drives. And then you choose restart, and it'll start up in whatever one you choose. So you can do that. You can also set a few things, the keyboard, trackpad stuff. It's pretty cool. All right, so let's talk about version control. So version control software is basically software that helps you collaborate with a bunch of different people on projects. It has other uses as well. So if you've ever worked up with a group, before we had, Google Docs or anything like that, where we can work on the same document, you understand how difficult this could be because, you have to work on a little bit and you pass a pen drive or you email the document and you need to make sure that everybody has the right version and all kinds of fun things like that. So, um, yeah, that could be a real pain, and it's virtually impossible on larger projects. So version control software is out to help you with that. It also does things like backing up some of the data you're working on, uh, and it keeps different versions of the software itself or of what you're working on. So if something goes wrong, you can roll back to a previous version and undo some of the changes. It's really cool in that. So let's go ahead and work through this here. If you give me a second, I believe I might have forgotten to uninstall it earlier. So if I have, it's going to be a little bit of a complainer here for a second. Yeah, I did. Okay. So let me go ahead and uninstall this on my machine here real quick. I seem to forget this every once in a while, so bear with me here a second. All right. And then I get to go in and remove some of the files here, so. All right, so. Bear with me a second here, almost done. Okay. All right. Cool. Looks like we're pretty much all set up here. All right. So one of the things that I've done is to make your life a lot easier and easier for us to kind of help you with. Um, it would be a lot easier to download the software that we need here. So if you go into the version control assignment here, the one with the video, we have files here. I have the install files already here. So if you click on that and download it, it means you won't have to register. You won't have to register your software before you download it and all that stuff. It's on and off whether they make you actually put in your information or not. So I decided to just go ahead and grab it all at once for you guys so you don't have to go hunt around for the files. So what we're going to do is basically once we have that, I'm going to click on this folder right here, the one I downloaded. You don't actually have to extract it, which is really nice because we're only dealing with one file at a time. So what we're going to do is we're going to work it through in order. So we're going to choose the install first here. So if we double click on that, you'll see Helix versioning engine x64. This is the server part. Now, normally you won't be installing this, but because everybody's so far away from each other, and I don't want you guys to, I don't want you to have to worry about messing other people's stuff up. This is why we have you install it on your machine itself. All right, so what you want to do is when you're running this first one, right here we have command line client P4. This one I like to turn off because it makes the other one whine a little bit when we install it. So I usually go here and just go down and choose this feature will not be installed and it will be uninstalled if already installed. So this last one has an X here. All right, so once you've done that, go ahead and hit next. And unless you know you're using this port, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. Don't change this. So yeah, leave that alone. One other spot I forgot to deal with here real quick. Bear with me a second here. Let me go in. Oh, good. I got it. All right. So, all right. So yeah, leave this alone if you don't know what you're doing. If you don't know what that is, that's cool. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead and hit next on it. All right, and then hit start, and of course wait for that to finish. And then when it is done, we just hit finish on that. All right, from there, we go back up one file, up one directory. We're going to go into install second now. And then go into the P4V int64 here. This is the client. So this is what we use. So just hit run on that. Answer yes to it. All right, and then we leave everything alone on there. That's fine now. All right, so we're gonna hit next. If you change your server address, you put that in there. But most of us have not, so we're not gonna change it. All right, so we're gonna kind of choose our default server, our default username. Now, if you are like doing this for a job, then we require you to use a very specific username. Go ahead and do that. So, all right, so we're gonna hit next on that, and then start here, and then we're gonna wait an awkwardly long time. Wireless mouse with scroll wheel and a 3D USB drive also 10. Good. The wireless mouse will be particularly useful as long as does the scroll wheel, Justin, when you press down on it, does it kind of make a clicky noise? Excellent. That's what you need to know because that means it has a button underneath it. So very good. Very, very good. All right. So when this is done, we hit finish here. All right, and that's done. Cool. And then we can close this out because we no longer need it. All right. So once we've got that done, yeah, actually, yeah, it is. It really, really is. It really is a nightmare trying to navigate it on a two-button mouse. In fact, you can't use Maya and be able to texture things, for example, without an external mouse. It's impossible on a touchpad because it requires you to right-click drag down a long menu. So once we've got that installed, we're kind of ready to start here. I am going to go ahead and start it up here. And we're going to find that under Perforce. So usually it'll be under like a free, recently installed, but just so you can find it, we're going to actually go find it normally. So one of the things you can do is if you click on a letter, it'll actually bring up a list of letters that are basically programs that are installed here. So if I'm going to Perforce, I hit P. All right. And you'll notice here I have Perforce right there. All right. And what we're looking for in this case is P4V. Basically, this is our client. All right. So at this point, sometimes it may ask you a few other questions. Because I didn't reboot between installs, it's actually going to bypass a few questions for me. That's what it looks like it's doing. So if you don't see this message right away, just click OK or yes or whatever to the dialogues that are popping up for you. All right. So this is where we need to start filling stuff out. Our server is fine because this is on our local machine. Like I said, normally You will not be running on your local machine, and we're only doing it just for convenience. Later on, when you get to Dax's class, um, you will be running on a remote machine. So that machine will actually um, have its own stuff. They'll have the server software already installed on it, and you'll be able to interact with other people's stuff too. So, all right, so we're going to leave that first one alone. The second one, our user, is one we need to set up. Even though you have it filled in here, we actually need to go over here to the right and choose new, because what it's going to do is it's going to create this user on the server. So we have to do that. So username, this is up to between you and your employer. You can choose whatever you want. So I'm choosing my normal one here. Full name, they may require you to put that in. So, all right. Password. So if they've configured a password for you to use, you will need to use that here. We have not, so we will not. All right. And then down here at the bottom is an email address. It is a properly formatted email address is required, but it doesn't have to be a real email address. That is my email address. So it's my real email address. So I'm going to use that. All right. I'm going to hit save on here. All right. And then workspace. This is where we're actually going to have our files on our machine. All right. So what I like to do is I like to create a folder on my desktop. So I have some stuff here. Let me go ahead and delete this old stuff from last month here. All right, and actually I can get rid of that one too. All right, so I need on my desktop, I created a new folder. Let me go ahead and just delete it so we can go through the whole steps of doing it here. All right, so on my desktop, just for now, you can put this anywhere you want, but I find it easier on the desktop just so you can get to it a lot easier while we're setting it up. So we're going to right click on our desktop and choose new. And then inside of that, we're going to choose folder. All right. And I'm going to call this Perforce underscore workspace. So it's easy to see, right? So you know it's your Perforce workspace. All right. From there, we're going to go down here to our workspace and we're going to choose new. All right. So basically this allows us to choose where we're putting it. All right, by default, it's going to fill some stuff out, our username underscore, our computer name, and something else. All right, in this case, I'm just going to put it, rename it. All right, and now I need to actually choose where it's going. So right now, the workspace root is where it's going to store this. Well, it's actually going to store this under a Perforce directory. I don't want that. I want to use this one up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit browse on this, and then I'm going to go find that directory on my desktop. So I'm going to go over here to quick access and choose desktop, and I'm going to go in here and find my Perforce workspace. So I'm going to double click on it and choose select folder. All right, now it says users and then your username, desktop, Perforce workspace. Yeah. So it has all that stuff in there. All right, so once we've done that, we're gonna go ahead and hit OK on this, and that will fill that in as well. Everything will be set up just how you want. All right, so once we've done that, we're gonna hit OK. All right, and right now it's gonna say add files to server. Leave this. We're actually just gonna cancel all this because normally you won't see this because someone will have already added files to it, and we don't need to deal with it this way. All right, and we're going to answer yes to the cancel. Oh, okay. So here's, would you like to check for new versions? I'm going to say no because I want to stay on this version of it. Um, things can change and I don't want that to happen. Probably if I let it do it, it'd say, oh, hey, there's a new version. Are you sure you want to download it? I don't want to deal with that. Shane, is that the MMO one? You're going to get about a year, maybe 2 years out of it before it starts double clicking for you, no matter what. I have one of those, and I've seen several people have the same problem. All right, so here we have our software installed. So here we have it installed. Um, Remember, if you look at the assignment here, if we actually back out and go to that, bear with me a second here, activities, and then down here to version control, preview. So if you actually go down here to the version control assignment, we have the list of things that we need to do here. The first thing we need to do is we're going to install. All right, so the way you prove that is I have you take screenshots. All right, so the easiest way to take a screenshot in Windows 10 is to use the clipping tool. The old way was to actually, press the print screen button and then copy or paste it into Note or MS Paint and then all that stuff. We don't need that anymore. If we go into W for Windows and Windows accessories, and then down here to snipping, excuse me, I'm having a little bit of hiccups right now. If we go down here to snipping tool, snipping tool basically allows us to take screenshots really easily. All right, so I want either you can do the full screen snip or you can do the window snip. The window snip kind of turns your screen a little weird, and then you can click on the window that you want to take a screenshot of, and it perfectly cuts it out for you. All right, so once you have this, if you need to, you can mark it up. You don't have to on this because I'll be able to look at it and see what's going on. And then you hit the save button here. So you're going to save this, and I already have mine set up, so you're going to see it's going to complain that it wants to overwrite mine. So the way you name this to make sure everybody can grade it just fine is like this. So we go last name, underscore, and then the step. In this case, it's install. All right, so once you've done that, and we're going to make sure it's JPEG because that's the easiest and fastest to open up. All right, so once we do that, we're going to hit save. And yeah, that's it, complaining that I've already done it before. And we're done. We've actually saved proof that you've installed. All right, congratulations. You've got 20% of your lab done. All right, so once you've done that, we're just going to minimize the snipping tool because we're going to use this again all over the place. All right, so let me go ahead and show you around Perforce here. So Perforce is just this window. It doesn't obey Windows very well, so you may see smaller text than should be. But it's what I like to call professional software. Professional software is there for its use, not for its user interface coddling. Some people call it Klingon software. It does not coddle the weak. Because there are things that you can do to get it in states that are not good, and basically there's ways to bigger things up. So be gentle, yes, explore, but just be aware that things may go wrong. You may have to uninstall and reinstall. It happens. So let's go ahead and look at a few things here. This is our workspace. This actually represents the spot on our hard drive. Right now it's empty because we have nothing in our Perforce directory. All right. We also have next to the tab there, this is a tab, just like a web browser tab. If we go to the left of it, we have the depot tab. So this is our server. So this represents what's being managed by Perforce, even on remote machines. So we'll have the list of the files here. Right now we don't have anything in the depot because we don't have anything. All right, so I'm going to click back on workspace here. So I make sure it says workspace. All right, over here we have our pending actions. So these are, sorry, over here we have our pending actions. This showing what's up to happen next. If we go back on file, we can look at files individually. All right, so all this stuff here is very useful. Let's go ahead and start using it. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually add some files. All right, so I'm going to kind of drag this down here. I have the requisite cat picture here. Remember, what has been seen cannot be unseen. So we have the requisite cat picture. And what we're going to do is we're going to open up our Perforce directory here. And I'm going to kind of move it aside here. And I'm going to drag this file in here. Actually, it moved it. I actually want to copy it. So, all right. So, and it also has the best file name too. So, all right. So we have that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to add a file here. All right. So right now, Perforce isn't quite paying attention to the directory as much as it should. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here and hit the refresh button. And now that file actually shows up in Workspace. All right, so we have our picture here. And right now, it's kind of hard to see. If you look over here, there's a little icon. It's really small. It doesn't have any special markings on it. Basically, that means the user interface knows about the file, but it's not doing anything about it. So it's not actually being managed yet. So to make it manage a file, what we're going to do is we're going to actually hit the add button here. It's giant plus. Imagine that. All right, so we're going to click the add button here. And what it's going to do is it's going to ask us, well, to make life easier for everybody, it has the ability to put notes in when things happen. So you can type in, what you're doing. So hit new here and type in, add the cat pic. All right, and then hit OK. All right, so what it did was now the user interface here is, again, recognizing it. It knows it needs to add it, but it hasn't done it yet. And what you can see here, if you look really close, there's like a 6-pixel tall plus on that. And that means it's marked for add. It has not been added yet because it's waiting for us to tell it to add it, to send it over. Mainly because some files can be really big and your internet connection may not be perfect. So it gives you a chance to kind of get things marked and ready to happen, and then you can send it. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this file. So we're just going to click on it, and then we're going to hit the submit button here. All right, so we're going to hit the submit button. All right, now normally if I hadn't typed anything in that first section here, this would be red. So if I don't actually type something in here, you'll notice it's the text here is red. Basically, that angry red text is telling you you have to type something in here. All right, without it, I won't continue on. So what we'll do from here is, now this is ready, we're going to hit submit. All right, and now that file is actually being managed by the actual server software. So it's actually been sent remotely off to the server, although it is on our machine on the same hard drive, so that's not very far. All right, so this would also be a little bit slower if that was a bigger file and you were, again, working on a remote machine, not copying between the same machine on a solid state drive. So yeah, this could take a while if it was a big file, but this isn't. So it's a 30 kilobyte file, which is disgustingly small. All right, Now, if you look really closely, now that file has a little green dot in the corner. It's basically saying this is now being managed by Perforce. All right, so we've done that, and let's go ahead and add some more files here now that you've seen it happen once. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click here, go to New, and choose Text Document. All right, and we're going to name some files here. Let's go ahead and name this one Bad Passwords. All right, so I've got that, and let's go ahead and add some bad passwords here. 1, 2, 3, 4. QWERTY. Password. Any ideas for bad passwords? Yep, those are good. All right, so we have a few there. So I have a few there. So let me go ahead and save this. File, save. All right, and close this out. Let's add another one here. This is new folder. Oh, not a folder. No, we don't want a folder. We want to create a new text document. New text document. All right, and I'm going to call this one items. All right, so we've got items here. So let's see, gold coins, wool, silver nose picker. What else? Yes, a BFG. And we're not talking about giants either. All right, so I'm going to save this. All right, so we've got a few things there. And then one last thing we're going to add in is the syllabus. And where can you find the syllabus? That's pretty easy. We go up to the About button here, or the little I next to your thing here. You can click that as well. All right, and we're going to go down here, and we're going to choose the course syllabus. Now this is going to look a little different because this is the my view of it. Yours, you can't remove it, obviously. So you're just going to click on the course syllabus here. All right, and that's going to pop this open, and then I am going to save this. Download button. Either it's a download button or a save button. Either one will work. So I'm going to drop this directly into the Perforce workspace here. And I'm going to chop off some of the really ugly file name. All right. So I'm going to save that. You did read this, right? All right, so now that we have those 4 files in here, and you'll notice here that, so it started noticing some of the files. It hasn't got the syllabus yet, but, once we hit the refresh, it'll grab that. Hold on one second. I saw a message I didn't quite catch. Let's see. Read. Yes. Sorry. Sorry, Josh, you do. All right. So, we have these files here. Again, they're not being managed yet. So what we have to do is we're going to go ahead and select them. So I'm going to click the first one, hold down Control, and select the other 2 here. So we have 3 total. All right, so right now we have these selected, and we're just going to hit the Add button. So if I hit OK on here, they are now ready to be added. So let's go ahead and take a quick screenshot. All right, so we can click on snipping tool. So it still has the previous one in there. That's okay. We're just going to hit new. All right, and then new one more time there, and we're going to select the window here. All right. Actually, we're going to tell it window there. Dink. There we go. Now it has all those selected there and shown with the nice red plus there. And of course, we're going to save this. And this one is going to be your last name underscore add, because we're adding files. Imagine that. All right, so I'm going to save this here. All right. Oh, you can actually see my user interface there now. Excellent. All right. So now that we've done that, they're ready to add. We now just have to submit them. So I'm going to hit this, click on one of them and hit submit here. All right, so what you'll notice here is that they're not all selected. So there's only one with a checkbox next to it. So we can hit this one and choose them all if we want. All right, so what we're going to do is write to a change list. Okay, more files. All right, so we've done that, and we're going to hit submit. So now here we have all of our files under version control. Isn't that nice? All right, so once we've done that, let's go ahead and look at making some changes to these files. So if you think, yeah, hey, it's on my hard drive, let me go ahead and add some more bad passwords. Let's say, let's add some other characters in here. All right, so we've added a new password in here. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. File, save. Hey, it's popping up the save as for some reason. All right, well, we'll just tell it to save over that one. Yes, we want to replace it. Oh, it is read-only. All right, this is basically telling you that, oh, there's something wrong. That should actually remind you that this file is under version control. To use this file, what we need to do is we need to check out a file here. So the checkout basically tells Perforce, hey, let the server know that I'm going to be using this file, and other people can see that happening as well. So, and let me actually edit it. So I'm going to select it here, so bad passwords, and I'm going to hit the checkout button. It's got the check, right? And then I'm going to hit OK on this. All right, so let me go ahead and go back here to the file here and try saving it again. Hit save. Yes, it exists. Oh, hey, not a problem anymore. So you just file save. That is because we have it checked out. And you'll notice here there's a nice red button or red check mark on that. All right. So we've got that, and I'm going to close this out for now. All right. So what we're going to do is we are now going to submit this file to the server and have it, add it to the server as a new version of the file. So what we do is we select the file, and then we hit submit. All right. All right. So once our change list here description, password. All right. So add a password. All right. So I'm going to hit submit on that. All right, now here's something I want to show you here. If you look really close, it says revision here. Normally it says, well, it started off with number one of one, and that's because there's one version of the file. The one we just changed here, bad passwords, is number 2 of 2. So what version this is over how many there are. So there are two versions of this bad passwords file, and we're on the second one, which happens to be the newest. So the higher the number, the newer the version. All right, so we've done that. Let's go ahead and edit the items here real quick. So I'm going to go to items and I'm going to hit the checkout button. Hit OK. All right, and then we're going to open up that folder again, edit one of these. Let's see, what other item do we have? Oh, wand of whizzing. That's as in wizarding, not other whizzing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save this. So I could either go up here to File and Save, or hit Control S. It doesn't matter. All right. So I'm going to close this out. All right, and then we're going to, of course, we're going to submit this file. Now we're ready here. I'm going to hit Submit on that. All right. All right, so submit that. All right, now it's copied it over. Let's take a screenshot. New, choose this. All right, and we're going to save it. All right, third one is our submit. So what we do is we actually submit a change to the files. So, your last name _ submit.jpg. All right, I'm going to hit save on this. And now we have done that one. Here we are 60% done. Cool. All right, so we've got these here. Let's say something happens. Like we really didn't mean, we didn't mean to put in that last password, or we added some feature to our document. So this is the way it is right now. We didn't mean to add this feature to our document, so let's go ahead and get rid of it. All right, yeah, you could go in and delete it, but let's say it's a real pain to do that. All right, so what we can do is we can actually go back to a previous version of the file. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here to bad passwords, and we're going to roll back to the first one, because the first one, those are all bad passwords. The last one's actually a really good password. So what we're going to do is I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to right-click on the file. All right, so when I right-click on the file, I'm going to go down to the bottom here and choose rollback. So rollback right there. All right, so what that allows us to do is, by default, we can go back just one version of it, or we could tell it which revision specifically we want. So if we had more than just two, we could go back even further. All right, so I'm going to choose rollback to previous version here. And then I'm going to go down here, I'm going to choose submit. So the middle one here. We're going to make it submit to our will. All right, so what that does is it actually auto-fills out our change list, so we don't actually have to deal with that. And we're going to hit submit on this. All right, so you're going to notice here that this is now revision 3 of 3, because what it does is it goes back and grabs that previous version and then submits it as the latest version of it. So you have the latest version of that, and it's really cool. All right, so now if we open the file here again, go back to bad passwords, that long one is no longer there. And we can actually go back and bring back the previous one as well, if you want to do that. It's perfectly valid. That will work. You can undo your undo. All right. Another screenshot. So I'm going to hit new, I'm going to choose this, and then save this, and we're going to choose rollback. So last name _ rollback, and choose save on that. All right, so we're at 80% done now. Okay. So at this point, let's go ahead and look at some stuff here. One of the nice things about version control software is that it can help you protect you in case something happens to your machine, or any number of things. It's not a full backup for your entire machine, but it is a backup for your project that you're working on. Any number of things can happen. So let's say we lose all of our stuff here, like completely gone. I'm holding shift so it's permanently deleting these files. And it's gone. It's completely gone. Oh no, we can't get it back. That can be anywhere from actually deleting them to your hard drive going bad or whatever, any number of things. So we've lost these files, and if we go back here and refresh, they kind of disappear from our workspace. But they're still in our machine, or still in our depot. So we click back on depot. What we can do is now select the files we want to restore. We don't have to restore them all if we don't want to, but we can. So what we're going to do is we're going to select them all. I left mouse drag to select, and you can click on the first one, hold down shift, and click the last one if you want as well. All right, so we've got them all selected there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on in the selected area, and I'm going to choose Get Revision. So Get Revision will allow me to specifically say I want this version of the file. All right, so I'm going to click Get Revision. All right, and it has all the files up here. If you need to add more, if you decide, oh, I don't need this file, you can remove it from this list here. All right, so here we have the choice of Get Latest Revision, which will get whatever the latest version is, or we can specify the revision that we want. All right, so I'm going to leave it on latest because I want the newest of the new. And one last thing that you have to do here, if you are bringing back the files, you're actually going to have to force the operation because currently Perforce thinks you have the files and it won't override a file that you already have. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to force the operation. So we're going to check that first checkbox there. All right, and then we're going to hit Get Revision. All right, and it's all back. So if we click back here in Workspace, we have all of our files. If we look back here on the hard drive, they're all back. Nice, huh? Okay. Sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, Josh, it is good if you can remember it. All right, so let's move on here. One of the things we want to be able to do is actually remove a file from our version control here. So what I did is I'm going to go ahead and select one here. Let's say items. So what we want to do if we want to remove it, we can actually just select it here in Workspace and then go up here to the delete button, the minus button. So if we click on that, it's going to ask you for a change and hit OK. Now, it's been removed from your drive, but it's still in the depot. But it's marked to be removed. So all we have to do is here is select it and hit submit. All right, and then it's going to go, well, okay, well, we need you to give us a description of this. So. All right, and then we're going to hit submit on that, and that will remove it from the depot. Although it has removed it from the depot, it is still, the file is still there in the background. If for some reason you mess it up, you can still recover it. So it's not really a complete loss if you have administrative capabilities. You can actually go back and pull the file back. So keep that in mind. The only way to truly get rid of it without wiping the entire machine it's on, you can go into you can actually go into the administrative tools. Now normally you won't have access to this, but here's what you would do. Let's say we have our if we go to our depot and then we go find the file. Let's see items here. So this is the one we deleted. If we right click on it and choose obliterate, like that's the most awesome that's the most awesome option ever, right? Obliterate, it'll actually fully remove all the versions, or you can tell it up to a specific version here. If you hit obliterate, it will no longer be no longer be completely available at all. So yeah, don't do that. Yeah, destroy beyond destruction. Yes. You will not be doing that. I mean, unless there's an absolute very, very specific reason to do that, don't do it. Really don't do it because, um, yeah, you might go in there and delete the wrong file, and then yeah, that's not good. All right, so the last thing you do, take another screenshot. All right, and then save that. All right, and of course this one is delete. Last name underscore delete. And save that. All right, and then we're done. So that is Perforce and what you need to learn. You will learn a lot more in Dax's class. I forgot what the name of his course is. Um, but he will be your instructor in a later course, and he's going to take you through a bunch of stuff on here that I didn't show you. Yes, exactly, exactly. Um, so yeah, you're going to learn a lot more about this software. I just want to kind of get your feet wet so you're not completely uh, out of it when you see it for the first time in another course. All right, so does anybody have any other questions you'd like to ask? um, Jessica, you no longer need the flash drive for Windows. They have modified the install for it, so you no longer need that. Uh, no, it's fine, Jessica. You can completely ask that. That's exactly what I'm here for. Yeah, you no longer need that pin drive for installing Windows, but it's a fantastic resource to kind of keep your stuff safe. You can back up. Let's say you're working on a document and you're not using version control. Sometimes you don't feel like it. So you can make backups of that. Yeah, you no longer need it to install Windows, which is definitely good. So yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, I know. I know exactly what you mean. The only way I'm keeping track of my pin drives is that I keep them in my bag, my laptop bag. So without that, they'd be lost in the house somewhere. All right. Any more questions? I've got pies to make tonight. So if you don't have any more, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Uh, I'm making cherry, apple, and pumpkin. So you too. Uh, I like sweet potatoes outside of a pie. No, it's going to be three separate. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now.